Are you lacking confidence before your interview even starts? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you some tips that's going to boost your confidence up before the interview even starts. What's going on, guys? This is Tyrone Tan. And as for the last 25 years as an executive recruiter, what drives me is helping amazing people find careers they love. Now, the majority of people that are interviewing out there don't even know how to interview successfully. And believe it or not, the success starts way before the interview actually even starts. It starts in the preparation. Now, in my experience, I have interviewed a lot of people, and candidates would come in, and you could tell right off the bat which candidates were 100% prepared, which ones were 50% prepared, and which ones were 0% prepared. Now, the ones that were 100% prepared, you knew that they had a very high probability of getting the job offer. The ones that were 50% prepared, well, that really was about a 50% guaranteed ratio that they may get a job offer. And the ones that were 0% prepared, well, they had zero chance of getting a job offer whatsoever. Now, here's some great tips that I have for you to help prepare you for your next interview before it even starts. The first one is that you want to find the company website and read it forward and backward. You want to know everything about the history, the about us, who are the key players. They may have listed their bio or their information. What are the products and services? You want to know everything about this company. And if you can, Google the company and find out maybe what their annual sales were and find out what some of the recent news or great news that this company has experienced so you can bring that forth in the interview. The second part is that you actually want to read your own resume. Why is that? You want to be very familiar with your own resume in knowing the dates and knowing all of the bullet points that you listed out in terms of all of your achievements, your goals, your accomplishments, because that's very important during your interview because you may be asked upon it and you want to be able to recall exactly the story that took place of how you were able to achieve those results. Now, you also want to bring 3 copies of your resume because you may go into that interview and interview with the HR person, and then they're going to send you off to interview with the controller or someone, some other operations manager, and then they're going to send you off to another executive and maybe even the CEO. So you want to bring multiple copies of your resume so that way you're fully prepared. Now, you also want to read the job description. You can find the job description possibly on the company's website, or you may still have a copy of it of when you applied for the position. But it's really important that you read that job description forward and backward. So that way you can see what are the tasks that are really important to them. And then look at your resume and compare what were you able to accomplish at your previous companies and what you found successful. So then that way, you'll be able to demonstrate how you would be able to perform that same thing with their company as well. Now, you also want to do research on LinkedIn to find out who are the key players that you're going to be interviewing with and understand their exact profile. Where did they work? Where did they work before? What school did they go to? What are their hobbies or interests, or what groups are they part of? Because you may have some similarities with these individuals that you're interviewing with, and you'll be able to have something to talk about. Now, an important thing is not to wear perfume or cologne before you go into that interview. The reason why is that a lot of people are sensitive to smells and you don't want to stand out in a negative way whatsoever. So the best thing is not to wear any perfume or cologne at all. Now, the directions. You want to know the exact physical location that your interview's at and how long, based on Google traffic, will it take for you to travel to your destination. If it takes you an hour, the last thing you want to do is leave 45 minutes before and then be stuck in traffic and be all flustered and late for your interview. Also, you want to use Google search and figure out what type of parking is available for your interview location? Is it free? Is there like plenty of parking, or do you have to pay for parking? So you need to bring cash or a credit card. In addition, you don't want to park at a meter and just put in for an hour because your interview may last longer than an hour. It may last 90 minutes. It may even last 2 hours. And the last thing you want to do is worry about your parked vehicle and that you have to check on it. And that will come out during the interview. So you don't want to be stressed about that whatsoever. Now, when you arrive at the interview, it's important that you arrive at the physical location 15 minutes before, not a half hour before and not an hour before. The reason why is that some companies actually have cameras around the perimeter of their building, so they actually know who shows up in their parking lot. And you don't want to just be parked there, be sitting, and then they're like wondering, you don't want to look desperate before you go in. So the best thing to do is to go find a coffee shop after you found your location and go relax there a half hour or an hour or however long that you're there, and just center yourself and then arrive at your interview time 15 minutes before. And the next thing to do before you get out of that car is to turn off your cell phone. You don't want it going off during your interview. And I can tell you there have been numerous interviews where the cell phone goes off and it is a big turn off. So, speaking of turning off, turn off the cell phone. Now, another important thing is to bring a notepad. You want to bring a notepad to the interview so that way you can take notes, especially if they're telling you about the position, so you can ask questions and be engaged about that company and about their role. And by having a notepad, you'll be able to take notes. And the most important thing to bring is your smile. You want to look in the mirror if you can and smile for 30 seconds and just work those cheekbones so that way you're just walk into that place with a fantastic smile. Now, I'm curious, what do you do to prepare for your interview? Or are you having trouble with the preparation before an interview? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm here to help. And good luck with your interview.